Hello and welcome to North Star Stamper. I'm Sue Kramer. I'm an independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator in Minnesota. If you are... Oh, wait, I need to mute my computer. Okay, there we go. If you're in Minnesota and you are looking for a new hobby and you don't have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator, I'd love to help you with all your Stampin' Up! Products and give you ideas and support you in whatever way you need. I hear the same things from customers all the time. It's space is probably their biggest issue, and I have some ideas, and I've shared some of those before, about how to deal with not having enough space for all your craft supplies. So let me know if you're in need of any advice or input or help. NorthStarStamper.com has everything you would need to know about me. I think my phone number is even on there. But there's a Connect with Sue or Contact Sue form there. You can sign up for my newsletter that goes out weekly. I tend to put it out on Wednesdays or Thursdays. I think I will try to be more consistent and send it out the same day of the week, but I haven't figured out which day works best. If you're going to purchase Stampin' Up! Products, you would use this website, northstarstamper.stampinup.net. For those of you that may not know why I go by North Star Stamper, most people go by their name, .stampinup.net. When I joined almost 12 years ago, there was another Sue Kramer, and she spelled it the exact same way, and we have the same middle initial, and she took all variations of our name, Susan Kramer, Sue Kramer, and Susan K. Kramer. So I had to come up with something different, and I live in the North Star state, so I used northstarstamper.com. I looked up recently, and there are now 3 Sue Kramers in Stampin' Up! The third one spells her name Kramer. We spell our name the German way. So hello and welcome, everybody. Thank you. I see people are sharing and saying hello. I'm so happy you're with me today. I actually can open the catalog and the brochure now. I can't open them on video or show anything on the inside until they're live, as they say. So last Thursday, I could open them on camera. So I'm using the, Dainty Flowers Designer Series paper. And in your Sale-a-bration brochure, you'll find it on pages 6 and 7. Lots of samples here, and it's actually shown twice on the front cover. Very popular. It's been so much fun to use. If you follow me on social media, you've seen some of my projects that I'll share with you. I have 11 cards to share with you, and we're going to make at least 2, if not 3. So the paper we're using, what did I say, page 6? Oh, goodness. Does coordinate with the Dainty Delight bundle on page 55 in the mini catalog. And I have it marked here, I think. It is on page 55. Oh, no. But I find it easier to look at the dies when they show you the bundle, and this is page 77. So it's on both pages. The stamp set is on page 55, and here's a good picture of the dies. And so these are the dies that they use on these samples, all these little flowers and such. Come from this die set. I was looking at it this afternoon and trying to figure it all out. I have 2 other die sets that have flower or floral pieces. And if you have your annual catalog, I know I'm rattling off a lot today, the Harvest die set, and this is still bundled on page 165, and the Meadow die set on page 172 are the 2 dies that I used. I do not have the Dainty Delight dies. I thought these other 2 dies would coordinate, and I will let you decide if you think they coordinate or not. So I'll leave that up to you. So let me know if you didn't get all those numbers. They do a good job of putting a catalog review in the back. So this I find very helpful if you're looking for something. Did any of you receive my newsletter the last 2 weeks and do the scavenger hunt? I had so much fun creating that, and I'd love feedback. If you like that scavenger hunt, I'll do it again with the annual catalog. It was fun to go through the catalog and learn about it myself. I don't know the names of everything, but I know kind of generally what's in the catalog. I'm talking so much I already need a drink. I see I have lots of friends today. Thank you, thank you. So this is what the paper looks like. And I think let's do the colors first. I love to grab a full sheet of cardstock of all the colors, and they do a good job of telling us what colors are in here. Sometimes they don't have enough space in the catalog to tell us all the colors. Here they do, but in the catalog sometimes, let's see here, like for instance, here, they list some colors, but that may not be all the colors in this paper. They just choose probably the most prevalent. I don't know. But I always like to compare when I get paper what colors they have here and what's in the catalog, and then I pull a sheet of each. Okay, so the colors we have in this paper are Blushing Bride, Crushed Curry. I see that one's gotten a little faded. Must have been out in front of the window. This is Fresh Freesia. We have Mossy Meadow. This is supposed to be Old Olive. I don't know if that looks like Old Olive to me. It looks kind of bright. Rich Raspberry and Starry Sky. Aren't they pretty? I don't know if I would put those together, but when you have professional designers doing your work for you, there are all those colors together. Aren't they beautiful? There's a little bit of orange in here, which we didn't have, so it must have just been a combination. I see there's a little bit of brown in the middle of that flower. You could easily use soft suede or early espresso with this as well. So I think I'll show you the floral side, and then we'll show you the back side. I don't have a full piece of this one anymore because I use so much of it. I love the small design of those flowers. And the green makes for a nice background. This looks to me, and I have not compared it. Are those the same but just smaller in size? Or are they different? I think they're different. I don't see this one on here. And I don't see this one on here. So they're very similar. But just bigger flowers and smaller flowers. I thought it would be fun to fussy cut some of these and add to a piece or a project. I have not done that. I've had so many ideas. I haven't needed to do that. I like the pink background on this one. It's very fun to use. And this one, you'll see that I've used just a portion. Let me use my Take Your Pick tool. I've used a portion of this piece on one of my cards. And I think I have a couple with this oval on there as well. So very, very easy to use. Beautiful cards. I think this is, don't tell people, but I think this is what I'm going to use for my Mother's Day cards this year. I send Mother's Day cards to all my nieces and step-nieces, or not step-nieces, nieces-in-laws, as well as my mom and my mother-in-law and my sister and sister-in-laws. So everybody gets Mother's Day cards from me. So this is the back, what I call the back side, but it's just as pretty. I love the green, but sadly it's on the back side of this one. And the card I'm going to make today, I actually use this piece, I think. And Anne, you're going to be so proud of me. I'm going to stamp on my designer series paper some Fresh Freesia dots, some more swirls. The pink is pretty. Again, that's Blushing Bride with white. And then this is the Starry Sky. Just a nice accent to go with all our flowers. Give it a little grounding so it's not so everything isn't so pale. All right, so that is the paper we're using today. I think I'll show you my cards next. Like I said, if you follow me on social media, you've probably seen all these. There's that oval. I did use a retired punch to get my corners there, corner rounder and that floral piece. This is die is either from the Meadow or the Harvest. I don't remember which. And you know where I get my scraps of white. This width are from cutting down the inside layers. So it was just a simple happy birthday. Couple pearls and you're done. This one, I didn't even put a sentiment on. I just put pearls on there and I put a couple layers. And do I have anything on the inside? Nope, I kept it small on the inside. Just a quick note. This was probably a sketch. I don't know, but I have an embossing there. And some dies. I don't remember what those dies are from. Here's the full piece of the one that it's on this piece of paper. There were some, in the middle, there were some long, thin ones. If you follow my blog, these next couple cards were from a series I did using 3" by 4" pieces of designer series paper. And so these pieces are 1 by 4 and 1 by 3. So I just cut those down. Oh, and I made a note here in the inside of this one. So these pieces, if you want to take notes, or you can check out my blog post, you could search on 3x4. 1x4 and 1x3, and then this centerpiece on both of these cards is 1 3/4 by 3 inches. Great way to use those long, thin scraps of pattern paper or cardstock or embossed paper or anything. So that's 1 inch wide. There's, again, the 3, and put this in here. All right. Oh, Anne says, yay for stamping on DSP. I don't do that often enough. These are some of the dies I'm going to use. Again, I get the Harvest and the Meadow dies mixed up. 3x4 inch piece of designer series paper. Just something quick. And after I die cut these pieces, the green, I used the negative from that to use my blending brush to add some, just a little bit of interest on the inside of my card. Again, 3x4 inch pieces. 3x4. I think this one's my favorite. I just love that blue. And just, like I said, I don't have the stamp set that coordinates with this. So I just pulled out a lot of my other floral pieces, and the butterfly I thought was beautiful. I do happen to have the Starry Sky ink. Again, this is a punch. I think that's the scallop circle, or not scallop, decorative circle. So this is one of my favorite layouts because you get to see two different pattern papers there. This one I thought would be really fun to make into a bridge or a spanner card. This ribbon, or this is twine, but you could put a piece of cardstock across there and make slits here to make a spanner card. And in case you're wondering, here, let me get these out of the way. Quick measurements. The two side pieces are 1 by 3 3/4. This centerpiece, and this is the one I pointed out on the DSP, is 2 inches by 3 3/4. And then, I don't know if you can see, I have a layer, a Blushing Bride layer behind this. It was just, there was just too much space between here. So I added Blushing Bride between there. And my layer is 2 3/8 by 3 3/4. And that makes for a nice, all the layers come together really quickly. I don't know if you can tell, this is not pink paper, this is pattern paper. And so that's a 4 inch by 5 1/4. And you could get, what, 6 of those out of one piece of paper. So you can get lots of layers going on. And then I had a little scrap, so I carried the pink onto the inside. And the last one I have, before I get stamping, is this one. And I don't know if you can tell, I embossed the green. And I pulled in a different color. I believe this is Granny Apple Green. I just thought it went well. And then I had a scrap of my pattern paper just to pull everything to the inside. I also like to put pattern paper on my envelope flaps, and I believe it's 2.5 by 6 that you need to put on the flap of a Stampin' Up! Envelope. So, again, did I write down how big these strips are? I don't know. I think those are probably 1 inch strips. They were just scraps I had, and I'm like, oh, let's make another card. And I need lots of birthday cards. I've been doing craft shows, and birthday cards were a huge hit. And then a couple cards I'm going to make probably one of the ones I'm going to make today, is going to be a sympathy card. And I had been asked to, excuse me, stamp on the inside of the sympathy cards I make, because that's the hardest thing to figure out what to say, is the inside of a sympathy card. So that's what I have today. We're going to be doing that. All right, so I have a card all ready to go. This is a Fresh Freesia card base. I do like to make them top folding when I make them for posting on social media, because I can stand it up and take a picture very easily. If you saw my cards with the elephants and the cats, I think they were all baby cards. When I made the elephants, I cut out some ovals, and I happened to center it on my white, and so it fits perfectly on a card. So that's going to be a layer on our card. Oh my goodness, talking. Kathy liked the card that could be a spanner card. Thank you. It used a lot of the different pattern papers, and you can mix and match. Obviously, within one pack of paper, you can mix and match very easily, because all the colors are actually in this pretty display. And several of the colors are there too, but from designer pack to designer pack, they also would coordinate, because Stampin' Up! Does an awesome job with our colors. That fresh freesia, you find anything with fresh freesia and you'll be able to put it anywhere. So I'm gonna, no, that's not what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put it this way. Surprisingly, I'm not using that oval floral. I'm gonna do this, and hopefully I'll remember to stamp on there. And then I thought it would be cute if I put one of these behind my oval. I'm just going to show you where I'm going, and then we'll get some adhesive out and start adhering. And put one there, and I thought I would trim that down, and then one on top. Then I thought I'd stamp here. So let's do that first. I want to at least get one card made quickly here. I am going to keep my oval handy. So again, all these dies I'm using are from the Meadow and Harvest. Again, I get confused as to which is which, and I do have them handy if you do want to see them. So I know I'm going to line this up right on top. You know what? They are the exact same size. I'm going to trim this down. It'll be, oh, sorry for that clang. It'll be easier for me to adhere it. I'm just going to trim. Hopefully you've seen me do this before. I love our trimmer because it has up to 1.5 inch on this side of, this is my cutting line, on this side, so that I don't have to try to get my paper to use this side of the cutting line. So that was one of the best things they did on this new trimmer. I'm just going to cut 1/4 inch off both sides. It'll just be easier for me to adhere more precisely. All right, I'm going to use my oval to line it up. Now, I have all the colors, not of the rainbow, but in our paper. I really like, let's see. I like Starry Sky. Oh, there's green in there. We're going to use Mossy Meadow. Come on. Since these two green sprigs are Mossy Meadow. I'm going to do birthday. I think I'm going to need some birthdays here. Birthday cards here pretty quick. And I think this will fit on here. All right, I'm going to practice. Always, 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 right? Practice, practice, practice before I see if this is lined up pretty well. I need a stand. I don't know if you can see, there's a little bit of a halo here, so I know I cannot rock this. I can't rock it when I'm stamping, so let's practice again. This is why I practice. Nope, I'm going to clean that off. Alright, let's grab a paper towel. My chamois too wet. So this time I'm going to be very gentle when I'm inking it. There we go. All right, let's line this up again. And I may be off. There we go. Ink, ink, ink. I'm very gentle. There is ink on around my image there, but I'm going to be very careful. Good. Whew. Always afraid something's going to go wrong and I don't have another piece of this cut. We will just move on and do something else. And that might be all I do. All right, adhesive. I do not have adhesive on the back of my die cuts here, and I kind of wish I did. These are pretty thin. All right, I'm going to put this about where I want it. And then I'm going to put one of these, green. After I get this card done, I will share how I did these. But I wanted to make sure I got a card done today. I'm just talking. There's too much on there. And it is all going to squirt out. So I'm going to kind of take some of that adhesive from one and put it on the other. That'll work. I'm just guessing. I don't remember. The oval's pretty close to the middle. There we go. And it still did ooze out. Now I have adhesive all over my fingers. Adhesive sheets, I guess, are the answer. All right, and if I put that right around, right center it. Sorry, I'm not watching comments anymore. I get stamping and then I get distracted, right? There. And since I trimmed down my DSP, it's not peeking out and I didn't have to be quite so careful. When I'm done, I will trim these off. And I'm going to put this up here a little taller. All right, so you can see, I think I'll talk about this while I adhere it. You can see that these were white. Oh, sorry, was I off camera? Oh, I need to pay more attention. I like standing up because I can see what my phone, how it looks in my phone. So these were white cardstock. All the dies I have for my projects tonight were white. This one, you can see there's color on the back. I used blends to color these, and I happen to have fresh freesia, which was one of the colors in the paper. I have those in blends, so I used the light and the dark fresh freesia to color the flowers, and then I think I used both Old Olive and Mossy Meadow for the greens. And I'm just going to lay that right on top. All right, I'm going to let that dry. Oh, my white is crooked. Oh, I didn't adhere it. All right, that works. Here. All right. I have certain scissors I use for certain things, so I'm going to hold this and then just trim off the bottom. These get all gooey and gummy, so I know which, can you believe I'm covering that up? I still think my card's going to be lovely, and I have a lot of cards made with that already, so I wasn't stressing too much about, look at that, isn't that pretty? It needs more though, doesn't it? I think some, uh-oh, I'm sticking to the paper, we'll have to turn this over. There we go. While I get more things to go on there, I will let you look at that. So I did grab all the blends I had in the colors in the paper. And I have some gems here. I have Champagne Rhinestone Basic Jewels, and I've been using these a lot, the Iridescent Rhinestone Basic Jewels. They're just so glitzy. Can you see? Let me get them. Let me get them off this acetate first. Sorry, I need to look at it and see which way we're going. These big ones are really big. I don't like using them quite so much. Let's put one there. We're going to put quite a few. Odd numbers. I'm going to start with 3 in a triangle. 4. There's another big one down here. Okay. Can you see that? Did I put that the right way? Oh, did I was afraid I didn't. Can you see those? I don't know. They just add enough. A white ribbon might look nice on there too. We're going to leave it. I think it'll be fine. Another thing I might have done had I thought about it, I would have embossed just the white, just to add some texture. That'd be kind of fun. You know what? I do want to add something. It's just bugging me. Here's some twine. That one's not open. We're just going to tie some twine around the top. Okay, so I have die cut a bunch of these floral, I'll just call them floral pieces, in basic white. And I have several of them colored, and I want to share with you how I colored them. Because maybe you don't have blends, maybe you just have ink. We're going to put a bow right here. I think. Oh, better. Better. We're going to make it a little smaller now. Holding this. That works. finishing touch. There we go. So there's card number 1. I'm not going to count because I'm not sure how many I'm making today. All right, so coloring. So here's what I have. A whole bunch of things all cut and ready to go. These first 3 that I used on the card, I used blends on. This one, oh, I had them all. This one I cut first and then added blends to it. It was a little fussy trying to get them all colored. Can you see that? I don't know. I need something white behind it. Let me stand up so you can see. It took a few minutes to get it. I used just a variety of the Old Olive and Mossy Meadow. I tried to make the stem darker, so it kind of looks like parsley to me. I thought, well, what if you don't have blends? So I have some other ones here, and I'm going to show you what's left first. I think it goes this way. So this first one, I thought, well, if it was hard to add the blends after I die cut it, what if I color my white paper with a blend and then die cut it? And so this is what I got. So this was, I put the blends on the paper right here. Oops, sorry, right here, and then I die cut it. So it's not too different from this. I will finish coloring that, but I wanted you to see the difference. You can always add colors after. Well, what if you don't have blends? What if you only have ink? I've heard it called swinking, swipe your ink, so it's swink. So I used both Mossy Meadow, and that wasn't dark. Old Olive wasn't dark enough, so I added some more Mossy Meadow on top of it. And this is the look you get with that. So, lots of options. If you don't have the colors of cardstock that coordinate with your paper, you can always color things with whatever you do have, whether it's markers or blends or your ink pad. I actually know of another crafter who only, I think, Anne, correct me if I'm wrong, she uses white, craft, and black. She doesn't even buy colored cardstock. She's so good with her blending brush that she always uses ink on white paper to get colored cardstock. I don't have the patience, and I don't have, I'm not that good with the blending brushes. So I buy the colored paper. That's kind of the easy way out. But think about the storage she saves on. I'm sure she buys white paper a lot. All right, so you saw the dies from the Harvest and Meadow. And I have them here if you want to know which is from which. So the other dies I'm going to be playing with on the next card, I have some circles from the Stylish Shapes dies, which I'm sorry are not available right now. They used to be call it back order, but they don't take back orders. And then I have another circle, and then this ovally, is that a word? Oval for a sentiment from the Beautiful Shapes dies. I didn't have time to use this, but I thought the tree rings dies, these little pieces, would coordinate. They're a little thicker, but I think it would work with these, especially with that first paper. Where is it? I think if you wanted to add some dies, you could use this branch on this one especially, or on the green. Wouldn't that be pretty to add some of these dies? Again, these are from the tree dies. Right, I don't want to lose my die. I've done lots of misplacing of dies recently. Luckily, I found them all. But so there's some options for dies. All right, the next card I have planned is this one. And I need some cardstock for my card base. I thought we'd do something with the pink. I really like that. And I have an oval left from, I think I told you about the cat and also elephant. They weren't together cards, and I thought that was really pretty. And I think we're going to die cut, and I can't decide what I'm going to do. You know what? I haven't done any blending on these. I need my other blending brush, though. I will use green. I do have my green blending brush. So I'm going to die cut this, and then we're going to blend it together. I'll leave this here because I think that's really pretty. I got something delivered to me an hour and a half ago. Can you see this? I was so excited. Let me see if you can see. Yes, you can. This is the Boho Blue Mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine that demonstrators can purchase it until the 16th. I don't know if all of you knew that. They extended it. They had trouble getting it in stock, so they extended it till January 16th, I believe. But if you join Stampin' Up! During Sale-a-bration, you can purchase this for less than half price. So you can add it to your starter kit. So while I die cut, I think I'll talk about it. I think it's beautiful, and this is a new color called Boho Blue. Let's talk about that first. When I saw it, my first thought was that it was just like Seaside Spray. So this is our old Seaside Spray, which was an in color a couple years ago. So it is a little darker than this, but I think it'll be a beautiful color. So this is one of our new in colors for 23 to 25. Okay, with the kit, you get everything, all the plates you need, and I have them here. So depending on your embossing folder, you will use either the 3 or the 4, and for die cutting, you use the 1 and both 2s. So we're going to leave that out. They do come like this. I just had them because I have the white machine, and I didn't want to open that pack yet. All right. So you can join Stampin' Up! And I would love to have you on my team. I do want to grow my team. I have so much fun, and I always say the more the merrier. So if you have ever thought about it, talk to me. I wish I had joined 20 or 25 years ago. I've only been a demonstrator for 12. And I don't know what kept me from doing it. Actually, I do. I didn't think I had time. My kids were, let me think, let's see, 12 years ago. They were 15, 13, and 6 or 7 when I started as a demonstrator. We were busy. They had religious ed every week. They were all in sports. Veronica was also in dance. The boys played a sport, at least one sport every season, or they only played one sport. We kind of limited them. So we were busy. I only had time to do one event a month, and now I'm doing it weekly. Obviously I'm online, but and I wouldn't schedule my monthly event until I had the kids' schedules. So I was like 2-3 weeks out. But I wish I had started earlier. So if you have ever thought about it, if I can do this, anybody can do this. So, and your demonstratorship would be anything that you want it to be. You don't need to sell. You don't need to purchase. You have, obviously you have to do one or the other. You do have minimums every quarter. But there's lots of options. If you have friends who like to craft, that's all you need is a friend or two to help you meet that minimum. It's so much fun. I have a great time. I love crafting with people. I don't know if you saw, I just did that. Just put it right through. I have learned that with this mini machine, I have to stagger my plates, especially works well if I have the top one longer than the bottom one. And I've gotten used to it. I don't even think about it after a month or two of remembering to do that. I just do it automatically, and I just did it without even thinking this time around too, because I used it earlier this evening. I think it's because this roller inside is so narrow, that's just over 3 inches. I think it's something about that. It just doesn't, if you line them up perfectly, it doesn't grab it to go through. All right, so enough talking. So you could get your own Boho Blue Mini Stampin' Cut and Emboss machine. And to sweeten the deal, I have some embossing folders on order. They'll be here later this week. And this is one of the packs. These are on clearance, and I bought some more for you. If you join and get the mini machine, I'm going to sweeten the deal and give you some embossing folders so that you have something to use with your machine. So while I color this, I think I'll talk about that some more too. I don't know which ones this goes in. I'm just going to put it in here so I don't lose it. What was I going to say? I don't know. What was I going to say? Anne, remind me, where was I going? You usually think like I do and know what I'm going to say before I say it. About joining. What was I going to say? I don't know. No, I don't know. We have fun. I love being a demonstrator. And it's whatever you want, whatever you put into your, I won't call it a business, because I don't consider this a business. This is what your demonstratorship, that's the best way to put it, is what you get out of it. You don't have to do anything. But I offer stamping with people twice a month who are demonstrators. So if you like to stamp with people, join us. I do it on Wednesday nights, but I can always change that. So there's just a white, I think it looks like parsley, don't you? So I'm going to hold it with my take your pick tool. And just add some green, kind of towards the middle of each section. Oh, I know what I was going to say. So if you join during Sale-a-bration, if you don't want the machine, if you already have a machine, or for whatever reason, Stampin' Up! Is offering $50 extra in free products. So the joining price is still $99, but you can get $175 worth of products instead of the normal $125. This is all U.S., by the way, and I can only have demonstrators in the U.S. on my team. So if you're outside the U.S., I might be able to help you find somebody in your area. I'm getting to know people in other areas of the world, demonstrators. So that's option, they actually call that option 3, is $99 for $175 worth of product. If you do want the machine, you can get the white or the blue, and that is $129, and you get $175 worth of product and the machine. The machines are $63, but that was only $30 more, so you're getting it less than half price. And I'm going to be using it more now that I have it handy. I think I want my sprig, the stem darker, so I'm going to use a blend. This is the light mossy meadow, and I'm just going to add some blend to darken that. So let's see, what else? I think I do have a page on my blog about being a demonstrator, and I'll be talking about it more in my newsletter too. So come join the fun. It's so much fun. It really is. Anne is right. How much fun do we have together? And Anne is my sister, in case you didn't know that. And sadly, she lives in Maryland and I live in Minnesota, but we talk almost every day about stamping. And we have such different styles, too, so it's very interesting. I don't know what I'm doing here. I think maybe we'll just do that. I like this tucked behind. It's kind of fun. I did have that first one planned. I don't have this one planned. I think we'll I don't know. Maybe we'll put it near the top. Let's see what I have in my bag. I'd like to make a sympathy card. Let's see, I think I want this a color. I'm going to add some color to this. Sorry, I need to grab a brush. I don't know, how am I doing on time? Oh, I'm way over. I try to keep these to a half an hour, but I had lots to share. So I'm just going to blend. See my blending? I get splotches. I think I need to tap off first. I've seen people do that. All right. So, for me, honestly, the best part of being a demonstrator is the community. If I ever think about leaving, I'm like, no, I can't leave. The community. I love the community I have. And it's not just the people on my team. It's people, I have a friend that lives in Texas that I talk to once a month. And we just talk about what we're doing in our business. And I think of her as my accountability partner. So I want to know that I have something, that I've been working on when I talk with her. Stampin' Up! Also gives us training, although the program I'm going to mention is not it's not training, it's more coaching on your business if you do decide to run this as a business. It's called the Business Development Program. So I talk with an advisor every other week, and she helps me decide what I want to do with my business. But there's also training on the demonstrator website, and I'm always here to help you, and I don't know, chime in for the, I know Kathy's on my team too. So if you want to share anything else about our team, oh, we're going to do a swap. My team is doing a swap. Well, actually, it's more than my team. One of the groups of demonstrators I stamp with on the first Wednesday of the month, I call them the Polaris Pals. We're doing a swap with the new catalog products or Sale-a-bration products. So that's coming up too. So we do fun stuff. I enjoy it. I don't know if I like that. I think it needs to be darker. Sorry, I'm kind of just... And I suppose this will look different when I get it done. I don't know, my hands are going to be all pink. Actually, that was rich raspberry. I think I forgot to tell you that. And I'm going to trim this down. So this was 4 inches. And I just know for a full card front is 5 1/4. I think I will center it. I don't know. Put that there. And stamp that. That works. Oh, I'm going to cover up that starry sky. Isn't that pretty? It's a nice blue. It's not, it is quite different than navy. It's a little brighter, I think. And I did not fold my card straight. And that is bugging me. Let's try again. So contact me if you have questions about being a demonstrator. That works. I wish it were darker, but I don't want to take that much more of your time. So for those of you that ordered Valentine crafting kits from me, that product came with my machine. They all arrived. It's about 6 o'clock today. So I will get those packaged up and to you before Friday. I don't have the envelopes right now except for one of them. Oh, I meant to put this underneath. I will open it on top. I think this is big enough. It'll take mini dimensionals. So your kits are coming. I hope you have as much fun with those Valentine kits as I did. That gingham paper, I'm anxious to use that some more. I think right now I have enough Valentine's Day cards for Tony and the kids. And probably the kids, actually the paper pumpkin this month is Valentine, so I'll make those into treats and for the kids' roommates. They kind of like that. Or co-workers. I think I told you that story about Andrew's co-workers. He gave them Christmas candy that I packaged. I think it was Halloween. It wasn't Christmas, it was Halloween. And one of them said the chocolate tasted better. It was just standard Hershey chocolate. And the other said she was going to keep the package forever because it was so cute. I thought that was very funny. Made me feel good. It was fun to give them something that they would appreciate. So I'm going to use rich raspberry again just to tie everything together. That was the cardstock too. I think I forgot to mention that as well. Oh, actually, I found the Quiet Meadow, which coordinates with the meadow dies. For a sympathy card, I thought I would use this. Heartfelt love and caring thoughts are with you. So that's what I'm going to use. And I die cut some circles, which I think will be perfect. Yep. It kind of ties in with the oval, too. I'll put it right there. And here. And then I also have this one. I think I mentioned that people at the craft show I did, the 2 craft shows in the fall, they wanted sympathy cards, but they wanted me to stamp on the inside, so they didn't have to write as much. So Nature's Harvest has a stamp that says, "Sending healing thoughts. May nature's beauty bring peace to your soul." I thought that would be nice to go inside a card. All right. I'm going to center that. Hold it. Perfect. I'm going to leave that out and see if I can find some white layers. I have such a mess on my table. It's kind of funny. I think I've shown you almost everything on here. Perfect. Again, this was Nature's Harvest in the annual catalog. Those are the two stamps that I used in the middle of those 1 by 1 inch strips of cardstock, or DSP from those cards I showed you at the beginning of the video. All right. I do have 2 sides, so if I don't like my first stamping, I can turn it over, but I am going to practice. So what I did was I lined up what the words were with a line here, and it is perfectly straight. My sticker must be off. Good. I'm not sure if I like that font. I find it a little hard to read, and it's a little small, but it'll do. So when I package this up for a craft show, I will stamp this on the outside so that they know what it says on the inside, because I do package up my cards in clear envelopes to keep them clean for my craft shows. I don't have anything scheduled for this spring, but I would like to do one. It's fun to meet people and talk about stamping, and I had a really good time at the 2 I did, 2 different churches. I think I'm going to put that right there with some dimensionals. I'm going to have to cut this up. I love our dimensionals. It's kind of like foam tape. Goes all the way to the edge, and you can cut it. Put that on where the bottom will be. Put this on the top. Oop, that stuck to my sleeve, didn't it? You probably saw that and said, Sue, that stuck to your sleeve. All right. And that goes right there. I kind of like seeing the corner of that. Sorry, I should put that right for you. And it needs some bling. I don't know if I'm going to put any... These just came today. Opaque adhesive backed gems. I'm not even sure which suite they coordinate with in the mini catalog. Actually, I don't think they do. They're just pretty colors. And it doesn't tell me what colors they are. And then these are the adhesive backed milky dots. I'm going to be, let's see. Looks like there are clear ones there. We're going to use these though. We're going to use the white ones. These are opaque adhesive backed gems. If you look in the catalog summary in the back of the mini catalog is probably where I will go to figure out where these are, what page they're on. And I like to use my putty end and pick it up. Sorry, I need to go straight to me. I see that dimensional was too big for there. I'll probably redo that. Not now. But I see it sticking out. Oh, I want to bring that first card back. Let's put these where you'll actually see them. You don't see them on the white paper. All right, one more. How about up here? There we go. I have an adhesive eraser. Stampin' Up! Used to carry these. We don't anymore, but I found them at the dollar store. And this is perfect for this. So here I have, you can see, I don't know if you can see, there's some adhesive here and it's shiny. So this adhesive eraser literally picks up the adhesive. And it makes it nice and clean. And then it won't stick to the envelope when I mail it. I think that's good. A little bit more here and here. So this is good to have on hand when you use your liquid adhesive and you make a big mess. I think we're going to stop today. I've kept you a lot longer than I normally do. But you can see I have all kinds of dies to use with my DSP. Look at these. Won't they be fun? Watch social media to see what I do with all these and the rest of my Dainty Flowers DSP. Let me grab. Thank you for joining me today. Happy stamping. And I'm serious, consider joining my team. It would be fun to have you join us. I have some posts coming. What am I doing? Some posts coming on social media this week. Just encouraging you, and I'd love to have you join us. The more, the merrier. And I have some exciting news coming at the end of the month, so stay tuned. We'll put these in the front, since those are the ones I made. Let's see if I have any questions. Thank you, thank you. Oh, Kathy said this piece looks like velvet. You know it does. It's just kind of shimmery. I have to grab my mouse to see all the rest of the comments. I am using my computer again. All right.
Yeah, you are.
I think we're good. And if I missed a question, I will respond to it here. Anne says she will try swinking. Swipe your ink. Swink. Isn't that funny? Let's see. Anne is going to be casing one of my cards. I was thinking about casing the catalog. I haven't done that in a while. Let's see. Kathy says, I have trouble figuring out how to use the back side of the papers. This card is beautiful. Well, thank you, Kathy. A lot of times I do stick with the floral patterns, especially on things like this, which is why I like this one, because I think that is the back side of that. And here I use the back side. Actually, I use back sides on all of these. So that was half the fun of coming up with those 3x4 ideas. So thank you for joining me. I'm glad you like my cards. It's so fun. I could just do this all day. And some days I do, especially when it's cold and snowy. So thank you for joining me. Happy stamping. I take requests. If there's something you want to see next week, let me know. Bye, everybody.